Apple has a Nano-Texture Glass option for their new iPad Pro, and let me tell you why it solves one of my biggest issues with the iPad. Hi, I'm Lisa Bardot, an artist and digital art educator who's been making art on the iPad for over 10 years. It's not an exaggeration to say that my life revolves around drawing on an iPad, and my biggest issue with the iPad has always been the glassy, glossy screen surface. As someone who draws on an iPad daily, the feel of the Apple Pencil against the screen is very important to me. The bare glass is somehow both sticky and slippery, so whenever I get a new iPad, the first thing I do before I draw anything is put on a matte glass screen protector to give me a smooth, buttery feel. So when Apple announced a nano-texture option for the new iPad Pros, my interest was instantly piqued. What is this nano-texture gonna feel like for drawing? Is it gonna be rough or smooth? Is it gonna affect the quality at all? How is this gonna affect my drawing experience on an iPad? Well, I've spent the last week drawing on the nano-texture surface and running a bunch of tests on it, and I'm excited to share with you what I've learned. In this video, we're gonna talk all about the nano-texture glass option, what it is, who it's for, and whether or not you should order it for your iPad. Let's get into it. Apple's nano-texture display option is an etched glass surface with light scattering qualities that gives the display a matte finish and greatly reduces glare and reflections. Now, what Apple has told us is that this is for pro users working in high-end, color-managed workflows in demanding ambient lighting conditions. However, when I heard that the nano-texture option was coming to iPad, I wondered if this might be a good option for artists in terms of texture and also for drawing outdoors or in harsh lighting conditions. Does the nano-texture make this a truly draw-anywhere iPad? So let's just get this out of the way. The nano-texture glass option is only available on the iPad Pro with M4 processor, and it's only available on the 1 and 2 terabyte models, and it's a $100 add-on. And then who is this for? In what situations might this be beneficial to have? Because the nano-texture glass is so good at reducing glare, it's gonna be great for people that are working outdoors or in harsh lighting conditions, or even if you're just in an office building with like overhead lights that might cause reflections and glare on your screen, it's gonna be really good for that too. One of the biggest questions that I've been asked about the nano-texture glass, and something I was wondering before I started using it, is what does it feel like? Does it feel different to draw on this versus the standard glass? Does it have like a papery, rough texture to it, or is it smooth? So this nano-texture glass is a matte surface. It has a smooth, buttery feel to it, which is what I actually prefer when it comes to drawing on an iPad. I like my pencil to glide across the screen without friction or resistance. Prior to this one, I've been using a matte glass screen protector on all my iPads to get that feeling. I've never been a fan of the rough, paper textured screen protectors. I've never liked the way that they feel and they wear down your nib super fast, but if you like the paper texture, know that this nano-texture glass is not that. So for me, when I'm comparing whether to get the nano-texture or not, I'm comparing this nano-texture to what it would be like to have an iPad with a matte screen protector on it. And with that in mind, here's a comparison of how the nano-texture handles glare versus a screen protector. The difference is night and day. You can still see a lot of glare on the one with the screen protector, but on the one with the nano-texture glass, you can hardly see any reflections at all. And then of course, if we compare the bare standard glass to the nano-texture, there is no comparison. It's just so amazing at how well this handles reflection and glare. It's really, really awesome. Another question people have asked is, should I use the nano-texture glass with a screen protector? If not, won't it get all scratched up? So if you have the nano-texture glass, no, you don't want to put a screen protector on it. I don't even think it would adhere very well. Plus, with the texture of the glass and then the screen protector on, it would have like competing textures and it just wouldn't look good. And then as far as scratches, in my testing, the nano-texture seems very durable. I have been drawing on it a lot since I got it, and I have noticed no marks from drawing. I feel like the surface would be more resistant to scratches because it's an already textured surface. Another question I've been getting, what about the polishing cloths? Is it true you can't use normal cleaning cloths with the nano-texture? So yes, Apple says to only use the polishing cloth that comes included with the iPad, and it's another 20 bucks if you want to buy another one. Yikes, so that's a bummer, but I will say that as I've been using this cloth, the fingerprints come off so well from it, especially compared to, cleaning off one of my older iPads, even with the screen protector or not, like this thing works really well. So, you can take that or leave that. It's kind of a bummer you're limited to this, but it does work really well. So there's that. Now, how are the blacks and the colors and the overall fidelity compared to an iPad that doesn't have the nano texture? So the blacks will be blacker and the colors will be brighter on the standard glass option. And this is because of the diffusion of the nano texture. If you have two iPads with and without it next to each other, you will notice a difference. But I'm not gonna lie, I opened my iPad and was just blown away at how beautiful this screen was. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything at all. Now, this nano texture is really being marketed to very pro users that work in demanding lighting conditions and require a high level of color accuracy. Apple is really selling this to people with very specific needs, and I think that has to do with the fact that the fidelity is not as good on the nano texture. However, if you do plan on adding a screen protector to your iPad, then the nano texture is going to be the better option. How is this screen for drawing in the sun? How does it perform outdoors? As I've been testing this, I've been drawing outside a lot, and this screen is so good for drawing outside. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it's this new Ultra Retina XDR with tandem OLED, and it's just like crazy bright. So it just does really, really well outside, compensating for a really bright light around you. So we're eliminating reflection, we're diffusing light. This makes it very possible to draw outside when you have very bright sunlight behind you, or even in direct sunlight. I tested this too, drawing when the sun is just literally on your iPad, and you can still see everything really well. Although I don't recommend doing this for too long, as your iPad screen will get very hot. But even in something like dappled shade, like under a tree or something like that, the nano texture is awesome at reducing glare and reflections. And because the new tandem OLED display on these iPad Pros is so bright, it really helps compensate for the spots of bright light. It's hard to capture this accurately on camera, but the screen was highly visible in full and partial sun. And just for comparison's sake, let's see just naked glass out in the sun. And then this is my old iPad Pro with a screen protector on it. Now, that's not an apples to apples comparison because on my old iPad, the screen is not as bright, but what do I really think is going to perform better in the sun? A $20 screen protector or an Apple engineered matte surface? For me, the answer is the nano texture. So what's the verdict on the nano texture glass? For me, an artist who enjoys a matte surface for drawing on the iPad, the nano texture perfectly solves the problem that I've always had with iPad screens, is that they're sticky and slippery and not a good surface to draw on. You will get better sharpness, brighter colors, and blacker blacks from the standard glass option. But if you're planning on putting a screen protector on your iPad anyways, and you like the matte surface feel, 100% get this. So if you're asking yourself, should you order the nano texture glass? Let's think about this in terms of a flowchart. Are you getting the new iPad Pro M4? Yes? Are you getting the 1 or 2 terabyte option? Yes? Do you prefer a texture on your iPad screen when you draw? Yes? Do you prefer a rough paper texture? If yes, then go with the standard glass option and then you can add your screen protector on top. But if you prefer a smooth matte feel like I do, then definitely go with the nano texture glass. It is so good, and I've really been enjoying drawing on this for the past week or so, and this is the first time I haven't felt like I wanted to put a screen protector on an iPad. So I hope this information has been helpful for you in deciding whether or not you want to get the nano texture glass on your iPad. What are your thoughts on the nano texture glass? Is it something you're going to be getting on your iPad? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any other questions about the new 2024 iPads or the new Apple Pencil Pro, let me know so I can answer them in a future video. I'm planning on making a video all about using Procreate and the new Apple Pencil Pro features, as well as a new iPad buying guide. So you can look forward to those. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of those videos. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy art making! Again, I'm Lisa Bardot, and I help people find their creativity through drawing on the iPad. If you'd like to support what I do, you can check out my premium brush sets that inspire creativity at bardotbrush.com. And if you want to take your learning to the next level, you should join Art Makers Club. Art Makers Club is a joy-filled creative community and learning hub for digital art makers. We have a growing library of in-depth courses, live virtual events and tutorials, a wonderful community of supportive artists, free Procreate brushes, and so much more. Come join us in the club. Learn more at artmakersclub.com. If you like this video, please subscribe for more awesome tutorials and check out one of my other videos. Thanks and have a great day.